Okay, sculpting a nose. The good part is that since noses vary so much, it's arguably hard to get wrong. However, knowing the anatomy will make it easier to get it right. You won't need to sculpt what's under the skin every time, but knowing why you're seeing what you're seeing as we sculpt the outside makes it easier to sculpt it right. After a basic anatomy lesson, we'll sculpt a nose together, and then we'll go over the more tricky parts where it connects to the brow, the cheeks, and the upper lip. The top third of the nose is bone, and the lower 2/3 are cartilage. The nasal bones are at the top, between the eye sockets. These are two small oblong bones that form the upper part of the nose. They jut out, forming the beginning of the bridge or dorsum. On the bottom, there is the maxilla, the part of our skull that includes the little protruding bone that sticks up between our nostrils, which you can feel if you smush your own nose. The septal cartilage, which divides the nose internally down the center, attaches to the maxilla at the bottom and the nasal bones at the top. Again, if you stick your finger in your nose, you can feel it. On each side, we have the upper lateral cartilage, a sort of triangular shaped piece that builds out the lower part of the bridge. Where it meets with the nasal bone, there's a bump and a widening, more obvious on some people than others. The greater alar cartilage is a piece that connects to the septum in the middle and then swoops around and gives the nose its relatively bulbous structure. There are other little pieces of cartilage, but we'll ignore those. The lower lateral cartilage, the alar cartilage, is what makes noses vary so widely, and it's important while sculpting to remember that there is one on either side of the septal cartilage that looks something like this, with this piece butted up against the septal cartilage internally and this looped externally. Some people have a obvious separation on the tip of their nose, and that's what that's from. For example, on my nose, they are quite round and bulbous, whereas in other noses, they can be quite narrow or anywhere in between. The nostril itself is mostly made up of fatty tissues, which is why it's so flexible. We start with a flat piece to work on that's thicker at the top than the bottom to mimic the skull angle. And there are infinite ways to do this, but I like to start with the nasal bone up top, just a quick rounded pyramid, and then the maxilla at the bottom. This allows me to get the right size nose, as I'm most often doing it on a face and not a tile. Be sure to check the profile and make sure that the maxilla is in line with the base of the nasal bone, not the protruding part. This way it sits within the face and not plopped on top of it. Then I make an approximate septal cartilage down the center so I can get the profile shape of the nose I want. Don't forget the bump and the widening right where it hits the bone. Even if it's small, it should be there. Then you're going to roll a piece and flatten it that's wider at the bottom and thinner at the top. And cut it in half and stick it to either side. As you're smushing it in, don't forget the widening at the top, and then the thinning, and then the widening again. Roll a medium-sized ball, cut it in half, and each of these halves will be our alar cartilage. Roll a smaller ball, again cut it in half, stick it on the sides as the nostrils. Make a log and stick it up to approximate the brow, and here we can push back the deepness of the eye sockets in so much as we can on a tile, but on a face, obviously you'll want those to go back pretty far. Fill in little bits and bobs and smooth it out, and we're starting to look like a nose. Don't forget to keep checking from different angles. Check against your reference and make sure you've got what you want it to look like. Now here I'm just smoothing it out, working on some details. When I cut out the nostrils, I use that clay to pull down so it becomes the upper lip. Again, the nose is not on top of the face, but integrated within. We have a muscle that comes down the side and another that's right where the cheek and nose meet. So we want to make this connection softer to indicate that muscle. And here we want to add a little clay to become that upper lip so that we can make sure that the nose is integrated. Looking at it from below, we can add the columella and make sure the nostrils are the shapes we want to be. A couple more details here and there, looking back and forth at the reference material, a little smoothing, and there you have it, a nose. Now you nose the nose.